Hello, group. Happy Halloween to those who celebrate. How's this for Halloween? This a cool cover? Yes, it's a cool cover. Can you tell the name of the band through the bars on the beast shown? WWIII, World War III. Well, is it shock rock? Yeah. Is it horror rock? Yeah. Thing is, it's sleaze rock. Oh, it's sleazy, all right, when you get to the words. What makes it shock rock or horror rock is the vocals and the guitar tone. But let me just go backwards a touch. Let me build up this band for you. This wasn't some garage band. This is a supergroup. You like supergroups? You're going to love this one, I think. How about on bass? Jimmy Bain. The late, great Jimmy Bain. The bass player on Rising by Rainbow. That Jimmy Bain. You know another record with him? Dio. Holy Diver. Last in Line. Pretty good, huh? But he also had some class. As such, not just a hard rocker. Is here helping Phil Lynott from Thin Lizzy on solo records. Helping write the material on these two albums. Of course, he also helped write the Dio albums, and more Dio albums than what I showed. It's also on others that we don't appreciate as much as the first two Dio albums. Even tried to be the frontman, Wild Horses, with Thin Lizzy's Brian Robertson. He's the bass player in World War III, WWIII. Intrigued? Bass and background vocals. Gang vocals, really. What about the drummer? Vinny and Peachy. Carmen and Peachy, they pronounce their last name differently. The older brother, Carmen Apiece, says it at peace. Vinny is Apiece. His first big break was the Mob Rules record by Black Sabbath, replacing Bill Ward on drums. You own this record. You love this record. Allow me to backtrack here a minute. I also was a drummer in Dio, the two classic Dio records. Vinny, Apiece. And then, when Dio came back with Black Sabbath, they didn't want to call themselves Black Sabbath, because after all, they had a reunion with Ozzy. So they became Heaven and Hell. And And Finney has a whole lot more credits than that. Derringer. Rick Derringer. Hang on Sloopy. Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo. That really was Finney Appice's rule break was with Derringer, the band. But then as cool as Mob Rule's Black Sabbath, right? So that's the rhythm section. Pretty cool rhythm section, right? That's a super group right there with those two. The guitar player wasn't well known. He would become better known when, after this fine record, he joins Dio. Strange Highways, Angry Machines. Some of you don't have so much these two Dio records. There's some of the better Dio records. There's worse ones. And I do like Strange Highways myself. Tracy G. Heck of a tone. Heck of a tone. And he went on to do a bunch more stuff. A lot of solo material. But the world didn't hear about that. They know about the two Dio records. And that's it. The singer, Mandy Lyon. Not the most well-known singer, but amazing. He sang like what this looks like. He could growl like many a death metal singer, but not doing death metal. Okay, growling, but he's a beast. He's not doing, Cookie Monster vocals. No, not that kind of growling. He's serious as a heart attack. Well, kind of. As I explained, sleaze rock. This is sleaze rock. Boy, howdy, it's sleaze rock. Soon after that, you own this one, don't you? George Lynch from Talkin'. George Lynch from Talkin'. Sacred Groove. You wondered who that singer was in the middle of the record, didn't you? What was the name of it again? The Beast. Part 1 and 2. Part 2, Addiction to the Friction. Sleaze. Did I tell you it's a sleaze record? It's a sleaze record. And this, Addiction to the Friction, sleaze. Sleaze. And of course, his statement of intent at the beginning of The Beast. He is the world's first homicidal lever. Echo. He makes love until someone dies. Yeah, Glenn Hughes is great here. The Nilsson Twins. Some really good singers on this record. And then there was Mandy Lyon, the Beast. He also attempted to get a record deal with a band called Wicked Alliance with Jake E. Lee. After Jake E. Lee left Ozzy, I would love to hear that. But I don't know, maybe it's on YouTube or somewhere hiding. But Mandy, some reason, people don't love Mandy as much as I do. This is the follow-up World War III WWIII record, when God turned away. Right? I got it right. But this is not sleaze. That is not what this is. Because this is your Halloween recommendation. You can play, we were speaking of Black Sabbath, of course. You could play the song Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath on a loop as you give kids candy tonight. You can. And then the kids might be slightly scared by that. Sure. You can play any number of thrash bands and death metal bands with the Cookie Monster vocals. And maybe the little kids would be a little bit perturbed as they approach your house as you crank that. Yeah, they might be. My bet is, and I'm not a homeowner. No one knocks on my apartment door. Makes my life less social, but easier. My bet is, and this is on YouTube, you play this on a loop from YouTube. Keep on repeating it as the kids come to the door. One or two kids may wet themselves. This is the kind of record this is. It's the beast. It's a hell of a guitar tone. A threatening guitar tone. I was listening to this, not that I needed to, but just get in the mood for this video. Playing this over and over again. It's a favorite record of mine. I have other favorite records. This is top 5, maybe. And the first song I'm not impressed by. Time for Terror. And this is what you think this would sound like and be titled like. Time for Terror. With this, the thing with Mandy is, yes, he has to growl, but he also shrieks very, very high. Now, I'm not a musician, I'm not a voice coach, but I think there's a whole lot of octaves between the growling and the shrieking. Not quite like Glenn Hughes, his octave range, not quite the same thing, We're talking growling, not bass vocal, not deep, manly, no. We're talking growling, shrieking, like a beast. It's just amazing to hear. And Time for Terror is a nice song, I guess. But it's not reflective of the other 10 songs on this record. It's pretty good. But the other 10 songs, well, okay, Tracy G does a solo thing of Over the Rainbow. The Wizard of Oz tune. The notes are there, but it's not the sweet song you're thinking of. Oh no. Is it kind of like what Hendrix did to the Star-Spangled Banner? Star-Spangled Banner? I'm an American, aren't I? Yes, I'm in the heartland of America. Star-Spangled Banner. I think I need a drink of water, excuse me. What Tracy G does to Over the Rainbow is akin to what Hendrix did to the Star-Spangled Banner. Love them both. Over the Rainbow is a freak job. But okay, now we're down to 9 songs with Mandy and Tracy G's guitar tone and a legendary rhythm section of Jimmy Bain and Vinny Appice. Just, it's not the most nimble music we're talking about. It is a bit thudding. And I don't mean that as shade. You know, it is straightforward rhythm with a hell-bound, hell-sent guitar tone from Tracy G that you may gotten more than a hint of from his 2 Dio records. It's more pure than that. It's more terrorizing than that. It's a hell of a guitar tone. Threatening and scary in its own right. Without considering Mandy's vocals with growling and shrieking like a beast on the loose, looking for young female flesh. I mentioned this is a sleaze rock record, right? A sleaze metal record. Love You to Death. That's the song where Mandy is verbose. He is not verbose necessarily in the other 8 songs in this record. But in Love You to Death, oh yeah. Because he's talking through the first time, the second time he makes love with you, and the third and the fourth and the fifth and the sixth. He's going to love you to death. Remember why I said the intro, the statement of intent to the song found here, The Beast, the world's first homicidal lover? Love You to Death is the same idea. It's going to make love until someone dies. Then, so you get Time for Terror, Love You to Death. Then you get Over the Rainbow. Not the pretty song you remember. Then you get Call Me Devil, if you please. Singing to the Young Ladies again. He does take a break from Singing to the Young Ladies. When after that he does a cover from T-Rex. Yeah, you only know one T-Rex song out there. I know you guys. You know one song from T-Rex. Bang and Gong, that's it, get it on, that's all you know. This is another song they do. Children of the Revolution with a children's choir. To contrast, Randy's vocals. Now, after that, you got, what's the count here? 6 songs of absolute sleaze for the second half of the record. Go Down. Go Down should be danced to by every stripper since this record came out in 1990, 35 years ago. Go down, baby. Down, down. And of course, the background vocal, gang vocal by Jimmy Bain and Finney and probably Tracy, whoever. Live it up as you go down. It's a favorite. Boy, howdy, that's a favorite. That should be a regular at every strip club in the world right now. Why isn't? I can't tell you. I have no idea why it isn't. Did the record company didn't know how to market this thing? What? It's brilliant. And I think there's a video for that. You can find that on YouTube, the song itself. Let me just digress for a second. On YouTube, this album is found on YouTube, but not in the manner you're used to. You cannot pick and choose your tracks, the 11 tracks. There's 2 options. There's an American release and there's a Japanese release, which is the same darn release. There's no difference between the Japanese release and the other release. Just a different cover. You just got the banner from Japan on this side. That's all there is. The nice thing is, since it's all one thing, one take, 49 minutes and 51 seconds, YouTube, at least for me, can't promise for you, but for me, no commercials in between the songs. See, when you normally listen to an album, good old YouTube tries to sneak in an ad in between every song. No breaks. It's effectively one song, 49 minutes, 51 seconds, no break. So, when the kids come up for trick or treat, almost 50 minutes at a clip, maybe with I cannot promise you'll get no commercials. Not promising. They did it for me. May not love you as much as they do me. I do run a YouTube channel after all. Just keep the sucker. I'll say in a minute what the last song is. When the last song, really sleazy last song comes out, it ends. Go for that left-hand side repeat button, and it starts over again. After Go Down, then we get into some bestiality. Or is it vampirism? Love at first bite. Gang vocal, love at first bite. Yes, it is. If that isn't sleaze for you, the harder they come, the harder, unstated in the refrain is, Harder They Come is the title of the song. In the refrain, the title of the song is followed by, the harder they come, the harder I get. If you know what I mean, I think you do. He hasn't had a problem yet. Okay, here's a song with a lot of lyrics too. A lot of these, here, let me open this up for you. The lyrics, if you have the physical, like I do, you get lyrics. Most of these lyrics are not very involved, which is fun. The two songs with involved lyrics, Love You to Death, and actually Atomic Sex Appeal. Very cool. Then he's going to drive you crazy, because the harder they come, the harder he gets. He's going to love you to death. He's the homicidal lover. Homicidal lover. They can love until, probably not him, dies. So Drive You Crazy is the next to last song. And then the last song, which has a video. The Cage. Talk about sleaze. Girls in cages. Pretty, barely clothed girls in cages. Never be the same. Once you make love in a cage, you'll never be the same. That is his message to you. As this, it'll be a classic record. It should be. It has a great cover. It's flipping great. All killer, no filler. And it's sleazy. It should be absolutely at least be a classic sleaze metal record. It's wonderful. It's brilliant. And I've seen them live, touring for this, in too small of a club. Nice little crowd, but too small, because they build it as, people from Dio and Sabbath. Great show. Brilliant show. Videos are great. What's the one video's for? Love You to Death. Is it Go Down? I forget. Pretty Girls. Maybe it is Love You to Death. Yeah. Because like the girl is a vampire and she's time to scream, Andy. But The Cage definitely is a video for that. Sleazy. Wonderfully sleazy. Once you make love in a cage, you'll never be the same. Indeed. But that doesn't explain the music. I mean, yeah, it's sleaze. Okay, sleaze is... But the vocals, that guitar tone, the straight ahead rhythm, those little kids are gonna freak. The parents are gonna, the mother's gonna freak. Dad may get into it. And granddad too. But mom, pastor, small children running themselves, they may freak. They may freak a lot. Highly recommended. Go hear it. That's my Halloween recommendation. WWIII or World War III. Self-titled. With this brilliant album cover. Somehow this is the only physical copy I've ever seen of this. That's just wrong. Of course, I own the only physical copy I've ever seen of this. Look in the store, looking through the stack behind a locked door. Let me look through this. Pick this out. Notice Jimmy Bain is in the band. Because I guess I did open this up. I mean, well, who's on this record? You know. And now I can't do it again. Type's too small, but if you got a really big TV, there's a list of who's. Well, here's a picture of at least 3 of the guys. I don't know why the 4th guy is not. Judy Clare's band. There, that's better. Who's missing? Not sure. Mandy's in the middle. I think this is Jimmy Bain. That should be Tracy G. Maybe Finney signed on late. I'm not sure. Or Finney didn't write music and, heck with you. We get the publishing. Brilliant record. Check it out tonight. Now, to prepare for tonight, Halloween. Absolutely freak people out. I say. It freaks me out still. In a good way. You like this video? Give it a like. Subscribe to Action Rock Corner. Ring the notification bell. And listen to WWIII. Self-titled. When you put it in you have to put it in band, I think, to get to this. Because it will try to give you nothing gay about KMFDM as an album called, a wonderful album called World War III. So YouTube will try to take you to that. You know, other things with, you know, World War III. You need the band. You need Mandy Lyon. This should be on YouTube too, but I'm not sure. I didn't see it looking around, but I own it physically. Nice record. It relays in action rock, garage rock, punk, psychobilly, rockabilly, and classic and legacy bands like Dio and Sabbath and Wild Horses and whatever else. We'll have it for you. Remember, have fun with your music. Sleaze rock is fun. First song's not sleaze, but after that, it really kicks in my opinion. You may think differently. Listen to it. Tell me about it. Great stuff. So have fun with the music. Have a great Halloween tonight. And remember, fresh music is as important as fresh food. Keeps you regular. Of course, the kids might do more than wet themselves hearing this. They may evaporate you know, crap themselves too. As long as they're not your kids, it'd be funny. As long as your parents are not close personal friends, maybe. But hey, you can't control the bowels of small children. You just play scary music and let the chips fall where they may. The lyrics aren't scary. They really aren't. It's the performance. That's what's so cool about it. It's the performance that's scary. That makes it. Because the lyrics are sleaze, basically. It's not that. It's wonderful. And I said everything. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.